Namaste, y'all.
Namaste.
It's really beautiful to be here. It's really beautiful to see all of you. It's really beautiful to see the beauty of the sky and the clouds and the water and the reflection of the light in the pool and the sacred statues and flowers and you, Claudia. And I'm really excited. I'm really passionate about something that I want to share with you. I'm excited and passionate about a lot of things, but there's something that I'm the most excited and most passionate about that I'd like to share with you today. And what I'm most excited and most passionate about is this moment right now. Because this moment, I realized, is where everything is happening. Everything is happening right now. And I've realized that it's always right now. And that it's never not right now. And when we realize that it's always right now, and it's never not right now, then this moment, this one, right now, becomes so exciting and so magical and so miraculous and a gift. It becomes a gift. This moment becomes a gift to be grateful for. So there's a sense of excitement and passion, and there's a deep sense of being at home, of being at rest in this moment. Wherever we are, whatever situation we find ourselves in, whatever circumstances we find ourselves in, whatever sleeping situation we find ourselves in, whatever the circumstances are, whatever the comfort level is or discomfort level is, we know that we are at home in this moment. We're at home in the now. And we can rest more and more deeply in this present moment. And if we're attentive and we're aware and we're conscious and we're responsive to this moment, and we realize that this moment is all there is, then in responding with our whole heart, with every cell of our being, with our whole self wholly, fully, completely available to this moment, then life flows in a way that otherwise is not able to. So sometimes we're thinking 5, 6, 7, 8 steps down the line, and we're getting so worried. What if this happens? That'll make that happen, which will make this happen, which then if that happens, this will happen, but if that happens, but that might happen, but then that might happen. And we're getting so freaked out and so anxious and filled with worry and anxiety, and then we stop and realize, wait a second. None of that actually has ever even happened. And I'm just standing here in front of a microphone looking at amazing, beautiful people in front of the water. Right? And this moment is so simple. And if we bring ourselves to this moment and realize that this moment is where it's happening, and this moment is inviting our participation, this moment is inviting us to be a co-creator, to be a life artist, to be a note in the song. Universe means one song. We're invited to be a note in that song, to play our own unique instrument, which is this channel, which is this physical expression of ourselves in this moment. And when we're fully present and fully available, we're available to create the most beautiful music together. And that's what these spaces to me are for. That's what these spaces are about. And that's what's so wonderful about these spaces, is that it creates the opportunity for us to make music together. We are vibration, right? We're vibration, so when we are present together, then we're able to synchronize together in the unified field of consciousness. This unified field of consciousness is always the case, is ever present, but we don't always have the awareness of it. So we're not participating in it consciously, intentionally. But when we are conscious, present, then we can consciously, intentionally participate in this moment together, and that's when the magic happens. That's when the magic happens. The magic is always here. The magic is always present. The magic is really all there is, right? God is always here. God is really all there is. The only question really ever is, are you here? That's the only question. The magic is here. God is here. Are you here? And if you are here, then you can dance with the magic. You can dance with God. We can dance with the magic. We can dance with God together. And that's when the miracles come into being, not through effort, not through struggle, effortlessly through being a clear channel for this universal creative intelligence to move through us moment by moment, through being present and through being a unique expression of who and what we are, moment by moment. So that's what's exciting about the space and the opportunity that's present in this space. And quantum physics is showing us that the observer and the observed are one, right? So this is a major opening in our consciousness together to realize that we are never separate. This old idea of audience and entertainer, this illusionary barrier of audience and entertainer, is being transcended to realize that we are co-creating each moment together. So even if we're sitting quietly, if we're not using words, if we're not talking, if we're not moving very much, we're co-creating this moment together. So there may be one person who's talking right now, but our collective presence is creating the words together. When there's a musician, there may be one person who's playing the music, but our collective presence is co-creating the music together. So the more that we realize that our degree of presence, our level of presence, is co-creating what happens, what we're experiencing, has the potential to co-create the magic, then something exponentially more powerful comes into being. So I invite us, I invite you, I invite myself, I invite all of us today to realize that, to realize the inherent power of our presence, that we're never just audience that has no bearing or no influence on what's happening. Our observation changes what's being observed, and what's being observed changes the observation, and there's this sense of interconnected oneness of co-creation together. So there's a very beautiful kind of meditative flow that we're in so far this afternoon, which I really appreciate. So let's bring in a little bit more of a meditation now. And in this meditation, focusing on what's here, focusing on this moment, tuning into this moment together. It's so common to feel there's some aspect of ourselves or some aspect of the moment that should be resisted, that should be pushed away, that's bad, that's negative, that's wrong. And in this meditation, the only invitation is to embrace what is, to be with what is, to be here unconditionally with what is. Someone asked me what meditation is recently, and I gave a really simple response that I think sums it up, which is meditation is to be in a space of unconditional love at this moment. And when you can be in a space of unconditional love with this moment, and this moment is all there is, that means there's an unconditional awareness, space of unconditional love with life. Because life is this moment. Life is now, now is life. And this moment is all there is. So let's close our eyes, pay attention to the breath. Slow, deep breaths to the bottom of the stomach. Just pay attention to your breath as you inhale, filling your abdomen as you exhale, coming back down. Notice your thoughts, and just allowing the thoughts to be exactly as they are. Like clouds, white puffy clouds passing through an infinite blue sky. You don't even have to think of them as your thoughts or someone else's thoughts, just thoughts passing through, like different shapes and sizes and colors of clouds. And you are the infinite blue sky, this essence which is unchanging, regardless of the clouds that appear, disappear, that come and go, that rise and fall. Bring awareness to your emotions, your emotional energy, emotional body. Allowing your emotions to flow and move like the river. Notice how the energy moves, shifts, rises and falls, comes and goes, appears and disappears. Just allowing everything to be exactly as it is. There's no need for focusing on good or bad or right or wrong or meditating a bit good or meditating bad. And if you notice those thoughts or those feelings, and we're just being with that, just allowing that to arise and fall, come and to go. Notice the physical sensations in the body. Spaces where there could be tightness, spaces that could feel loose, spaces that could feel painful, pleasurable. Just noticing all the different sensations arising, appearing, disappearing. Notice how they come and they go, that they change and they shift and they move. In this infinite field of awareness, which is the essence of who and what we are. Pay attention to your breath, slow, deep breaths. Bottom of your stomach. Pay attention to the sounds around you. Maybe you're You've been able to hear things you otherwise wouldn't be able to hear in this space of presence. The water, the chimes. Allowing the sounds to come and go, to appear and disappear, to rise and fall. Notice the way the breeze feels on your skin. Now notice the silence between the sounds. Notice how the sounds are always changing, moving, flowing, and the silence is unchanging. Silence is ever present. And notice how amidst all that comes and goes, all that arises and falls, all that appears and disappears, the thoughts appear and disappear, the emotional energy that appears and disappears, physical sensations rise and fall, the sounds rise and fall, the wind that's ever changing. Notice how the silence is unchanging, ever present. And notice how the silence is you. The silence is the essence of who you are. Before you were born, the silence is the essence of who you are. After you die, the silence is the same essence as when you were 5 years old, as when you were 15 years old, as when you're 95 years old. 5 minutes ago, 30 seconds from now, with the silence amidst all that comes and goes. The silence is the unchanging essence of who and what we are, and is the space where we are one beyond any egoic illusion of separation, where we can rest with the depth of inner peace, boundless freedom, unconditional love, empowerment. Let's take a few, two more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes with fresh, innocent eyes, as if you're seeing life for the first time, and just take a few moments to look around the space in silence. Look at the beautiful people in the space who are a reflection of you, and notice if you seem more alive, vibrant, colorful, present, here, now. And in this space, this depth of presence that we're in together, there's this sense of being. We're called human beings, and there's this depth of being that we open to. And this sense of being is enough. When you're present and you're open to this sense of being is enough. So in our culture, in our society, we're tend to be very focused on doing, trying to get some sense of fulfillment, trying to get a sense of happiness, to use a flaky word. And the doing, to get to somewhere in the future, never actually brings us to this moment, now. However, if we relax and we can rest into the authenticity that is ourselves without needing to do anything different than who we are, be anything different than who and what we are, then we open to the being, the sense of being that is present now. And then we realize, oh, I've been trying to do so many things to get to this being, and actually the being was always here all along. And I just needed to kind of open myself to awaken to this sense of being, to this ground of being. And this being feels so good, it's almost overwhelmingly enough. When you're really open to this depth of being, it feels so almost overwhelmingly amazing to just be in this moment. And from this place of being, the most amazing doing happens. From this place of being, that's where the most amazing doing happens, because now we're a clear, open channel for this universal creative intelligence, also known as God, to move through us in this moment. But when we lose the ground of being, the most amazing doing doesn't happen. And a lot of times the doing has a sense of self-destructive quality to it, and has the illusion of needing to do more, to clean up what happened and keep doing more and more. And by some grace, some sense of grace, we open and realize that we aren't going to come to being, we aren't going to come to fulfillment through doing, but through being present, through being here now. It's actually the opposite. Through grounding in the sense of being, of who and what we truly are, this infinite essence of who and what we truly are, a sense of doing, of being connected, can come through us. So there's no strategy to get to the now. There's no steps to get to the now. There's no formula to get to the now. Now is now. Here is now. You are now. We are now. And this is it. Right now. When we open to this truth, this is when the magic happens. This is when the most amazing doing and co-creation is possible. So it feels like a blessing to be able to be in these spaces, because these spaces aren't yet so common in our culture, in our society. So to be in these spaces where the being is the foundation from which we express ourselves, in which we explore ourselves and experiment and discover ourselves, is a blessing. And it makes me want to read something to you, and that's down here. This is called Love is the New Religion from my book, The Big Low. And it speaks in a sense to where we are right now. There's a sense, I happened to be in the car lot today, was hearing some NPR type stuff. And there's a sense that there's a lot of, these are dark times. And on the surface it may look that way, but I don't feel that that's really the case. And this gathering is a testament to that. So is this right here. On the surface of the world right now, there is war and violence, and things seem dark. But calmly and quietly, at the same time, something else is happening underground. An inner revolution is taking place, and certain individuals are being called to a higher light. It is a silent revolution, from the inside out, from the ground up. It is time for me to reveal myself. I am an embedded agent of a secret, undercover, clandestine, global operation, a spiritual conspiracy. We have sleeper cells in every nation on the planet. You won't see us on the TV. You won't read about us in the newspaper. You won't hear about us on the radio. We don't seek any glory. We don't wear any uniform. We come in all shapes and sizes, colors and styles. Most of us work anonymously. We are quietly working behind the scenes in every country and culture of the world. Cities big and small, mountains and valleys, and farms and villages, tribes and remote islands. You could pass by one of us on the street and not even notice. We go undercover. We remain behind the scenes. It is of no concern to us who takes the final credit, but simply that the work gets done. Occasionally, we spot each other in the street. We give a quiet nod and continue on our way so no one will notice. During the day, many of us, we pretend we have normal jobs, but behind the false storefront at night is where the real work takes place. Some call us the conscious army. We are slowly creating a new world with the power of our minds and our hearts. We follow with passion and joy our orders from the Central Command, the Spiritual Intelligence Agency. We are dropping soft, secret love bombs when no one is looking. Poems, hugs, music, photography, movies, kind words, smiles, meditation and prayer, dance, social activism, websites, blogs, random acts of kindness. We each express ourselves in our own unique ways with our own unique gifts and talents. Be the change you want to see in the world. That is the motto that fills our hearts. We know it is the only way real transformation takes place. We know that quietly and humbly we have the power of all the oceans combined. Our work is slow and meticulous, like the formation of mountains. It is not even visible at first glance. And yet with it, entire tectonic plates shall be moved in the centuries to come. Love is the new religion of the 21st century. You don't have to be a highly educated person or have any exceptional knowledge to understand it. It comes from the intelligence of the heart, embedded in the timeless evolutionary pulse of all human beings. Be the change you want to see in the world. Nobody else can do it for you. We are now recruiting. Perhaps you will join us, or already have. All are welcome. The door is open.